The CEO leaned closer, her voice barely above a whisper, yet sharp enough to cut through the silence. "Pretend you kiss me for 7 minutes," she said. The janitor froze. In the empty top-floor office, the city lights flickered through the glass walls, casting long shadows across the marble floor. He still held the mop in one hand, water dripping slowly onto the polished surface. For a moment, he thought he had misheard her. 7 minutes. Of all the things he expected on a late-night shift, this wasn't one of them. His name was Daniel Carter, a 34-year-old single father who worked 2 jobs just to keep his 8-year-old daughter, Lily, in school and food on their table. Nights were for cleaning offices like this, places where people in suits made decisions that could change lives. Days were for being a dad. And now, standing in front of him, was Rebecca Hale, the CEO of the very company whose floors he scrubbed every night. Her eyes were tired, not just tired, the kind of tired that came from carrying something heavy for far too long. I think you've got the wrong idea, ma'am," Daniel said quietly, stepping back. "I'm just here to clean." "I know who you are," Rebecca replied, her voice steady but urgent. "Daniel, night shift. You always come at 11:45. You hum when you work. Old songs." He blinked, surprised. "You notice that?" "I notice everything," she said. "It's my job." Then she took a shaky breath. "I need your help, and I don't have time to explain everything the normal way." Daniel tightened his grip on the mop. "With respect, ma'am, asking a janitor to pretend to kiss you for 7 minutes is not exactly normal." A faint, humorless smile touched her lips. "No, it isn't." She glanced toward the glass door, then back at him. "They're watching." Daniel frowned. "Who?" "Board members, investors, people who want me out," she said. "They're in the conference room across the hall. They've been looking for a reason to prove I'm unstable, unfit to lead." "And this helps how?" Daniel asked, still confused. Rebecca stepped closer, lowering her voice even more. "They've planted cameras in here. They're expecting me to meet someone tonight, a man they set up. They want to catch me in a compromising situation so they can force me to resign." Daniel's stomach dropped. "And instead, you want me to?" "Yes," she said. "If they see me with you, a janitor, it ruins their narrative. It makes their setup useless. They can't spin it the same way. It buys me time." Daniel shook his head slowly. "Or it makes things worse for you." "Not if it's controlled," she replied. "Not if it looks like my choice. My rebellion." He stared at her, trying to process everything. "And why 7 minutes?" he asked. Rebecca hesitated. "Because that's how long the recording window is before their remote feed switches to the conference room," she said. "I overheard them." Silence settled between them. Daniel looked down at the wet floor, then back at her. "This is insane," he muttered. "I know," she said softly. "But I don't have anyone else I can trust." That word, trust, hit him harder than anything else she'd said. He let out a slow breath. "I have a daughter," he said. "Everything I do, I think about how it affects her. I can't risk losing this job." Rebecca's expression softened. "What's her name?" "Lily." "How old?" 8. She nodded, as if committing it to memory. "I won't let anything happen to you," she said. "If this goes wrong, I'll take the fall alone." Daniel gave a small, bitter laugh. "That's not how the world works, ma'am." "No," she agreed, "but it's how I work." He studied her face. For the first time, he didn't see a CEO. He saw a woman cornered, desperate, alone, and something inside him, something stubborn and quietly brave, shifted. 7 minutes, he said finally. Rebecca exhaled, relief flickering across her face. 7 minutes. He set the mop aside. "But we're not actually kissing," he added quickly. A faint smile appeared again. "Agreed." He stepped closer, awkwardly at first. "How do we make it look real?" he asked. Rebecca hesitated, then gently placed her hands on his shoulders. "Like this," she said softly. Daniel swallowed hard, then placed his hands lightly at her waist, careful, respectful. "Okay," he said. "We just stay like this." "Stay close," she said. "Lean in slightly. Block the angle." He nodded. Their faces were inches apart now. From the outside, it would look like intimacy. But up close, Daniel could see the truth. Her eyes were trembling. "You're scared," he said quietly. Rebecca gave a small nod. "Terrified." "Then why do it?" he asked. "Because if I don't," she said, "they win." The seconds began to stretch. 1 minute, 2. The silence grew heavier, but something unexpected started to happen. They talked. Softly, barely moving their lips. Why are they after you? Daniel asked. I refused to approve a merger, Rebecca said. It would have cut thousands of jobs. Including people like you. Daniel blinked. You risked your position for janitors. For people, she corrected gently. 3 minutes. Your daughter, Rebecca whispered. What's she like? Daniel's expression softened. She's everything, he said. Loves drawing, hates math, thinks I'm a superhero because I can fix the sink. Rebecca smiled, a real one this time. She sounds amazing. She is. 4 minutes. Why are you still here? She asked suddenly. Daniel frowned. What do you mean? You're kind, she said. Thoughtful. You could have walked away just now. He shrugged slightly. Because I know what it's like to be alone when everything's falling apart, he said. And someone chooses to help anyway. Rebecca's eyes glistened. 5 minutes. The tension in the room began to shift. It wasn't just fear anymore. It was understanding, connection. Two strangers, standing inches apart, sharing truths they'd never say out loud under normal circumstances. 6 minutes. Rebecca's voice dropped even softer. If we get through this, I want to help you. Daniel shook his head gently. You don't owe me anything. I want to, she insisted. He met her gaze. Then help people like me, he said. Not just me. 7 minutes. The moment stretched, then passed. Rebecca slowly stepped back. It's done, she said. Daniel exhaled, realizing he'd been holding his breath. Now what? Before she could answer, the door burst open. 3 men in suits stormed in, their faces tense. Well, one of them said coldly. Didn't expect this. Rebecca straightened immediately, her CEO persona snapping back into place. Gentlemen, she said calmly. Something I can help you with. We saw the footage, another said. Care to explain? Rebecca didn't flinch. Explain what? She asked. That I choose who I spend my time with. Even if it's someone who works harder than all of you combined. The men exchanged glances. This is inappropriate, the first man snapped. No, Rebecca said firmly. What's inappropriate is planting cameras and trying to manipulate me into resignation. Silence fell. Daniel stood frozen, unsure what to do. Then Rebecca turned to him. Daniel, she said clearly, thank you for your time tonight. You may go. Her tone was professional now. Distant. He understood. Good night, ma'am, he said, picking up his mop and walking out. As he stepped into the hallway, his heart pounded. What just happened? He didn't sleep that night. The next morning, he dropped Lily off at school like always, trying to act normal. Dad, she said, tilting her head. You look weird. He chuckled. Do I? Yeah, like you ate something sour. He smiled. Just tired, kiddo. But inside, he wasn't just tired. He was anxious. By evening, he expected to be fired. Instead, when he arrived at work, something was different. People were talking, whispering, and then he saw it. A company-wide email displayed on a screen in the lobby. From Rebecca Hale, CEO. Subject: Integrity. It detailed everything. The attempted setup, the hidden cameras, the board's manipulation, and at the end, one line stood out. Integrity is not measured by status, but by action. Last night, someone with the least power showed the greatest courage. Daniel's chest tightened. By the end of the week, 3 board members resigned. An internal investigation began, and Rebecca remained CEO. But that wasn't the end. A few days later, Daniel was called to her office. He hesitated before knocking. Come in, her voice said. He stepped inside. This time, the room felt different. Lighter. Daniel, Rebecca said, standing up. Thank you for coming. He nodded. You wanted to see me. She gestured for him to sit. I meant what I said, she began. I want to help. He shifted uncomfortably. You already did more than enough. No, she said gently. Now I do more. She slid a folder across the desk. Inside was an offer. Facilities supervisor. Day shift. Higher pay. Benefits. Daniel stared at it, stunned. I don't know what to say, he whispered. Say yes, Rebecca said with a small smile. He looked up at her. Why me? Because you chose to do the right thing when it mattered, she said. And because this company needs more people like you. Daniel felt something rise in his chest. Not just relief. Hope. I accept, he said. Rebecca nodded. Good. He stood to leave, then paused. Ma'am, about that night. She smiled softly. 7 minutes can change a lot, she said. He chuckled. Yeah, he agreed. They can. As he walked out of her office, Daniel felt lighter than he had in years. That night, when he picked Lily up, she ran into his arms. "Guess what?" she said excitedly. "I got an A in math." He laughed, lifting her up. "See, I told you, you're amazing." She grinned. "Guess what, Dad? What? You're still my superhero." Daniel held her a little tighter. For the first time in a long time, he believed it too. Because sometimes, being a hero isn't about grand gestures. Sometimes, it's about standing still for 7 minutes, and choosing courage when it matters most.